I'm Liz, the Split C DIY, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Zoom H1 Handy Recorder. Now, I've been considering upgrading my audio solution for my camera for a little bit, and I happened to see B&H Daily Deal for this recorder for about 40% off, and you could also bundle the accessory pack for an additional discount, so I went ahead and picked that up. And I thought since I'd be adding this gear to my recording arsenal, it'd be a great opportunity to do an unboxing and a quick review, see how it sounds. So let's jump right in. Okay, so now that everything's out of the box, let's take a closer look. In the actual Zoom H1 box, you get, of course, the Zoom H1 recorder. It comes with one AA battery that goes in the back here, and it also comes with a 2 GB micro SD card and a full-size SD card adapter to plug into your computer, which is actually a pretty good deal, and also 2 gigs, honestly, for audio it's a pretty fair amount. It's about 3.5 hours, so not bad. It also comes with a quick guide, which I honestly haven't taken that close a look at yet. If you're familiar with standard recording interfaces or recording devices, then this is fairly easy to navigate around, but it does have some helpful tips if something like this is new for you. And now the accessory pack. The main reason why I picked up the accessory pack is that there is no power supply included stock with the Zoom H1. In the accessory pack, you do get a power supply though, so that you wouldn't have to rely on a battery to power this thing. And there's just something knowing about that you have the stability of a power supply, so that it's not going to unexpectedly turn off on you in the middle of a recording. Personally, I think this should come stock with the H1, but I mean, the accessory pack is cheap enough to add on that I guess it's not that big a deal. I was also expecting a wall wart and was pleasantly surprised to see that it's very small. It's similar to size of like an iPhone charger. It just plugs in with a USB cable because this is a 5-volt power supply, and then to mini USB it plugs in right on the side there. And you can also use the USB to connect to your computer for data transfer and power as well if you have a fully powered USB port that you can plug it into. Next up is the windscreen for the built-in microphone, which is great if you're doing any outside work. It also comes with a hand grip mount, because on the back of the H1 you can mount it to any standard tripod. So this is great for any field work. If you're doing any kind of mobile recording, then you won't get any noise from touching the recorder, which I did notice is present if you touch it a lot while it's recording. It also comes with a little mini tabletop tripod made out of metal. You can adjust it to different angles. You want to get like really high or anything like that. So that's pretty cool if you just want it to be kind of stable on a tabletop for your more non-mobile recordings, then it's a pretty good option. And this all comes in the pack for about $15, which is a pretty decent deal. Last but not least, there is a case also. Comes in the pack to keep your H1 safe when you're not recording, and it's like hard shell plastic that it zips right around, so it's nice and snug. Okay, so now let's take a closer look at the controls on the H1. Of course, on the front you have the record button and your LCD display. On the side here we've got power button, the USB port for either data transfer or for power, a delete button. You can delete files on the device. There's a playback interface so you can navigate through your card, your standard rewind, forward, and play pause. There's also the line in for a mic that's 3.5 millimeters, and then input level adjuster. Here is the built-in mics, and there's a little cage around them to keep them from getting banged up. And on the other side, there's the line out or headphone jack. You can either use it to monitor with headphones, or you can use it as kind of a pass-through to send audio to a camera or any other audio interface. And there is a volume adjuster for your levels there. Now, if you're using it as a pass-through, you're probably gonna have to adjust the volume with the gain stage on whatever audio interface you're pushing it into, so that you don't get any clipping or any kind of weird noise. Then we also have the micro SD card slot right here. And if we go to the back, you've got the battery right there. And then you also have a low cut filter, auto level, and you can also select your recording format in either WAV or MP3, and these are with switches. So all of this is great, but at the end of the day, all that really matters is how does this record? How does it sound? So I'm going to do some recording tests. I'm going to record room tone, so see if you can hear any built-in buzz or anything like that, or if it's picking up certain frequencies a little bit more than others. And I'm also going to say one of the English language's most famous sentences, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, just for a quick spoken audio test. And I'm going to use 4 different ways to record that so that you can hear different variances and everything like that. So if we go kind of a scientific method route, we have to have a control, and my control is going to be the internal mic on my camera, because technically that should probably be the worst sound quality. Now I have a clip-on mic that I use more often than not for my recordings. I'm going to plug that directly into my camera to get a recording. I'm also going to plug it directly into the Zoom H1. And then I'm also going to use the internal mic on the Zoom H1 as well to make all of these recordings. Now, I'm also going to record just like if I were setting up a shoot. So if I'm using the internal mic on my camera, I'll probably get better levels if I stand directly over the camera and speak into it, but that's not a true world test. So I'm going to sit right here, my camera over there, and have the internal mic pick me up that way. Now with the lab, I'm going to mic myself up as normal right here, and I'm going to plug into the camera directly, zoom directly. And with the internal mic on the Zoom, I'm going to set it up on this tripod on the table, kind of off to the side, because in a real world recording, granted I could hold it here, but I'm never going to do that. So that's how I'm going to set it up, and there will be no audio editing on these tracks. However they record, I'm going to put them straight into the video, and you will hear how they sound unfiltered. So let's get that going. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
And the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
So overall, I'm really happy with the H1 recorder. I think it gives you a lot of versatility for recording, how you can use either your own line-in mic or the internal microphones. It's really easy to navigate with all the different buttons, and also it's very obvious when you're recording versus when you're not recording. I like the LCD screen gives you levels and a battery life indicator. One thing that I'm not thrilled about with the Zoom is that the SD card door is really flimsy. I just feel like it's going to break off. It's only being held in by this little strip of plastic. But the good news is it's not one of those recorders that requires the SD card door to be closed to record. So if it does break off, worst comes to worst, you put a piece of electrical tape over it, or you live dangerously and do absolutely nothing. I also think that the power supply should be included stock with the H1 in the box. I don't think you should have to buy the accessory pack to get a power supply for a product, especially a recorder, and that goes across the board. I really don't like when companies make you purchase the power supply separately. But other than those 2 complaints, I think it records really clear audio, especially for video. There's limited noise on the actual recorder, and I think it's a really great option for those that want a slightly higher level recording quality for their videos without having to pay out the price for Zoom's higher end models. Okay, so that about wraps it up for today's video. If you'd like to toss me a thumbs up, and please remember to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram for all the behind the scenes nonsense. And until next time, this has been Blitz City DIY.